The Use of Social Media and Adverse Drug Reactions by Samantha Bowen and Rebecca Joachim. Adverse reactions from using a specific drug are mainly monitored on the FDA database through self-report from doctors and patients. This form of report makes it a long process for monitors of the database to find patterns of adverse drug reactions for specific drugs. Social media has become a major commodity for advertisement and feedback. Most major companies today use social media as a way to gather information about what people think about their products. They use this information to better market or even improve their products. The University of Virginia and West Virginia University began a research study on using social media, specifically Twitter updates, Facebook statuses, online message boards, and blogs to monitor whether information can be gathered on these media sites about people's negative reactions to certain drugs. They hypothesized that using information posted on these sites between 2000 and 2012 could show that patterns of certain negative drug effects could be more quickly realized than through using the FDA database. If this were proven to be true, social media could potentially cause major changes in how drugs are monitored.
After understanding the background of how adverse drug reactions have previously been followed, the idea of tracking via social media sites is very significant. I would like to share some information and statistics regarding social media and internet-based medical information so we can understand the vastness of the target population in the study and how beneficial it could potentially be on drug reaction tracking. The use of social media in the medical field, more specifically in tracking adverse drug reactions, is astounding when you consider the growth and influence of social media since it began. 2004 is considered the beginning of social media, when the term Web 2.0 first came about. Before social media, the internet was a source of text information and research, but mainly based on industry experts. Web 2.0 illustrates the change in the use of the internet from information-based to communication-based. Web 2.0 has transformed the way we interact and obtain information that we consider valuable. Sites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, WebMD, and YouTube have created communities where people share and gain information on an individual, team, community, and business level. It is also very important to consider the massive popularity and the size of the Web 2.0 community. As you see here, there are currently 1 billion Facebook users, 100 million active Twitter users, and 64 million LinkedIn users in North America alone. Now, taking those numbers into consideration, while knowing that 61% of American adults have sought out health information online, makes the target population in the study extremely large. Consider Web 2.0 in the context of medicine, where people gain and share medical advice, reviews, and reactions, all from the privacy of their own home and at no cost. The idea of Health 2.0 or Medicine 2.0 is where the researchers in this article are focused. This table is from a similar study as the one we are discussing, but it is based strictly on Twitter and more general health concerns, rather than specifically adverse drug reactions. It is a great example of how the research of social media can aid the health field. Social media sites are continuously evolving as more users consider them a valid resource and outlet of information, so the frequency of updates and the specificity of the research can evolve and grow. Who does it concern? This issue of tracking drug reactions involves everyone who has been on medication of some kind, as well as doctors who prescribe medications, the chemists and researchers who create the drugs, and the pharmaceutical companies who sell the medications. The researchers in the study are trying to track adverse drug reactions via social media, which then narrows the research target population to only social media users. We will come back to this idea of strictly social media users when we discuss the challenges of this research. How do we involve them? Here is a list of the ways medical information can be shared through social media. There are blogs such as WebMD, WordPress, and Tumblr, microblogs such as Twitter, social networks such as Facebook and Google+, wiki sites including Ask Dr. Wiki, discussion boards including Google Discussion and many other medical forums, photo and video sharing such as Health ICU and YouTube, and user reviews such as RateMD's and Yelp. What does this research mean? Social media has become an outlet for several different types of research and marketing in more than just public health. Although many of the individuals that the issue concerns are social media users on the personal level, and many of the companies use social media as a means of marketing, their social media campaigns are not necessarily catered to tracking adverse drug reactions. Within social media, there are many different terms that are used to create links and share your post to more than your followers, which are listed in the slide above. All of these concepts can be used for the benefit of the research in this study. For example, let's consider the use of hashtags. A hashtag creates links towards all of those individuals or companies who are also discussing that specific hashtag. For example, by typing "I love Boston" with a hashtag on Boston in your Twitter account, you could create a link to Boston and would allow users to view every other Twitter account who is also discussing that hashtag. If pharmaceutical companies and doctors created discussions regarding a specific drug with the use of a hashtag, there would be many more responses and opinions linked directly to that specific drug. This concept applies to all social media terms listed above and could create an open forum between pharmaceutical companies, doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, insurance companies, and of course, most importantly, the patients. It would create relationships between all the professions involved and could potentially offer extremely valuable information that is both free and convenient to use and to track. What are the challenges? Validity is one of the challenges for researchers in this study. It will be difficult to create social media outlets to obtain valid responses and reaction towards the drugs. A quote from the article states, "Since the internet is teeming with spam aimed at exploiting medical fears, selling unregulated remedies, or promoting illegal online pharmaceutical sales, researchers will weed out fake medical websites with a fraudulent website detection system co-developed by members of the team. They will use other analytical tools to further filter the information. The results will be reviewed by independent pharmaceutical experts in partnership with medical professors at WVU's Medical and Pharmacy School." This quote solidifies the challenge of validity in this study and the methods the researchers will use to minimize this challenge. Another challenge would be in regards to the target population and the bias within the population. The concept of bias relates back to the idea that the research is only including social media users. A quote regarding bias from the article states, "With a median age of 31 years, Twitter attracts 19% of online adults ages 18 to 24 years, 20% of online adults ages 25 to 34 years, and 10% of online adults ages 35 to 44 years. Twitter users are disproportionately from lower income households and are more ethnically and racially diverse than the full U.S. population because of the skewed age distribution toward a younger population. 35% of Twitter users live in urban areas compared with 29% of all internet users. Use of Twitter is correlated with utilization of other social media, with 23% of social networks users saying they have used Twitter or similar service, compared with just 4% of those who do not use social services. This shows how the target population is biased based on the population of social media and how many patients suffering from adverse drug reactions may not use social media sites. This concept can be considered as well when thinking about what percent of social media users actually would use it as an outlet for medical information. Privacy will be a huge challenge for this study. Previous methods for tracking drug reactions were much more private for patients in comparison to social media tracking. As just mentioned, many patients who are social media users may not be willing to share their private health information on a social site. This is especially important when the health issue at hand has some type of negative connotation associated with it, for example an STD, where the patient suffering from this disease will not want to share the information publicly.
Questions. Do you think that valid patterns of adverse drug reactions can be detected from people's posts on social media sites? Why or why not? How would you deal with the issue of privacy when trying to monitor and collect data on certain drugs? Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this presentation.